Hello and welcome to the Open Book channel. My name is Oleander, your designated open book, and this is where I share my journey as an author, talk about the craft of writing, the business of being a content creator, and occasionally review really good books. With everything going on with GenAI trends, being a creative feels crappy right now. I will be making another more informative video about GenAI for those who still may not understand the harm this technology is causing, because I want this conversation to be accessible for anyone new coming into it, and it is such a binary space right now. But for this one, I want to keep it simple. This video is about people that should know better, but aren't acting better. Unlike a lot of other internet controversies, the use of GenAI is not wholly warped in the perception of its acceptance as posed by big media. And by that, I mean when a large company manufactures the public interest for its product. This is seen a lot in high fashion brands that flop. They hire models, flaunt the product around, pretend that everyone is scrambling to get their hands on whatever handbag to justify the inflated price, when really, they haven't sold a single piece of merch and nobody cares. Don't get me wrong, this is happening in GenAI companies, choosing to implement it in whatever stupid, useless ways they can. Companies are adding AI functions to their apps and websites that don't even make sense and nobody wants, just to justify the investment they made in it in the first place. But the perception of GenAI's acceptance isn't only a matter of a bunch of tech bros jerking themselves off over dysfunctional AI assistants. I had hoped that GenAI would remain only in a vicious cycle of its own creation. People claiming to be AI writers and artists, pumping out slop that no discerning consumer is actually interested in. And that's been true in a large part. Those that openly use GenAI for content creation are being instantly blocked by people that value their time, under the general sentiment that if someone doesn't care enough about something to actually make it, why would others care to consume it? In other areas though, such as casual use, GenAI is actually, unfortunately, pretty openly accepted by the public in its use and trends. The big hitters for this month, April 2025, are people using GenAI trained on Ghibli Studio to remake memes and photos, and the trend of packaging your business, where people use GenAI to pose themselves as a doll with their most notable accessories. Both of these trends are unacceptable for a variety of reasons, but at this point, I don't have a very high opinion of the general public. I don't and can't expect better from people who don't have any skin in the game, as they don't have any incentive to care. The morals of this technology that is so detrimental to the planet aside, the average Joe participating in these trends tends to justify their use of GenAI for visuals because it's seen as little more than a filter to them, which we've had for many years, decades even, on apps like Instagram or Snapchat or whatever you kids use to look good. They aren't using GenAI to maliciously take work from real artists like larger corporations tend to use it. They're just having fun. As much as I can be mad at the average person for not being better informed and choosing to participate in the harmful ecosystem of GenAI production, I am so much more and deeply disappointed with the allowances that I see fellow creatives making. People who condemn the Studio Ghibli AI trend out of some feigned respect for Miyazaki turned around the next week and used the GenAI trend of repackaging their business for marketing. I hate that I am too stupid to use screenshots of these things when I see them. I am genuinely mad at myself that you just have to take my word for it, because I already messed up my algorithm trying to refine it, but there was one particular response going around the internet from a Facebook business owner to someone who expressed disappointment in them participating in the AI starter pack trends. And it was like a little essay of several paragraphs of them trying to rationalize that they are anti-Gen AI, but they do ceramics actually, so it's okay to use Gen AI for marketing because hopping on trends is just too important to small businesses not to participate. The mental gymnastics going on right now are just getting a bit maddening, but I don't know what I expected. It's 2025. The point is, there is no ethical use of Gen AI at this moment. We cannot sustainably support its use on this planet outside of the fact that its existence is predicated on the theft of unfathomable amounts of data from creators used to train it. It doesn't matter who you are or why you use it. Smaller creators pretending they're the allowable exception cannot fly, because we're the ones who need to set the example. I know it's hard for people to accept being told that they can't have fun like everyone else, but We all need to be able to step back and assess things apart from the mob mentality that the internet has created. Just because it's a hot new trend other people are doing doesn't magically make GenAI use excusable. And I will reiterate my stance that I'm not talking about AI in general. You can have your built-in AI-assisted apps for editing or cleaning up images even, but using GenAI to create, especially something so frivolous as memes, in a respected style that is non-consenting, is disgusting. That's what it is. I don't know how to say this more plainly other than the fact that if you cannot make something yourself or afford to pay someone to make it for you, there is no inherent right to creation. GenAI does not deserve to exist just because it can, and you do not deserve to have access to it just because it's there and everyone else is doing it. There is so much garbage on this planet, physically and online, all because humans decided that they could make it and never asked whether they should. I loved seeing the pushback from real creators for the starter pack trend, illustrating their own versions of it, making their own real, unique art, but it's unfortunately not enough. These spontaneous GenAI trends need to be stigmatized enough that they don't happen in the first place. Even if you sound like a narc, please tell the people around you not to use GenAI. It's not cute, it's not fun, it's not okay for some people more than others. To quote one of the most admired, creatively revered men in the world, Mr. Miyazaki himself, I strongly feel that this is an insult to life itself. I feel like we are nearing the end of times, and we are losing faith in ourselves. And I personally don't want to let that happen.